Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Another review of the Phantom Menace? Been there, done that, we know it sucks. Either I review Amazing Spider-Man 2 already, or just kindly fuck off. But I want you to bear with me for a second, because much like a review from yours truly, you're about to see something that's not been seen in recent memory. A positive review for this movie, yay! Yeah, I know it's the popular thing to hate on episode 1, but try as I might, I still do like it. Now yes, if we listed off everything the prequels did wrong, we'll be here until Christmas 2073, but I think it's about time an internet reviewer stood up for these flawed as fuck movies, because apparently there are a lot of fans of them out there. People who can find and appreciate their redeeming qualities and not let all the bad things hurt their overall opinion. Though of course those bad things a lot of people find hard to not notice. You see, Star Wars Episode 1 is a bit like Two Girls One Cup. Sure, the film begins and it seems alright, what with the nice music and all, but we begin to realise what we're in store for when we see... Yeah. But I'm not here to change your mind, because if you judge this film as any decent reviewer should, it's pretty goddamn terrible. I'm just here to have fun and talk about what is honestly one of my favourite childhood movies. I'll let you decide on how depressing that statement is. So, if like me you like this film, settle down and get excited. If you hear this film, you might want to get yourself a little, something to help. Hey, wanna buy some death sticks? Hey. Selling drugs is irresponsible. If you don't sell them with me first, hit me up with a couple. Alright. But I thought you liked this movie. I do, but it doesn't mean I say I like everything about this movie. Now go away, I got a review to do. But wait, I got Marcel. Not interested. But I've got some limited edition Qui-Gon Jinn. Piss off. Alright, fucking crazy Yorkshire twatting basham. Right, so now that we're all prepped for a buzz if we need it, let's begin this enjoyable piece of banther crap. This is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So our movie begins in space. Sorry, I had to do that with at least one of these movies so I get it over and done with. Moving on. Well, the film is quick to introduce us to our two protagonists for this evening, Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi and his master Qui-Gon Jinn. We join them as they're about to have a meeting with one new gunray of the Trade Federation to negotiate the fate of Naboo, a planet the Federation means to invade.
How do you think this Trade Viceroy will deal with the Chancellor's demands?
These Federation types are cowards. The negotiations will be short.
So for such a mission of utmost importance, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon have got to be unassuming and not give these guys any reason to get suspicious and...
The ambassadors are Jedi Knights, I believe.
Ha. Yeah, coming in all hooded in cloaks like that, guys. Not a hot idea. Jedi literally have the ability to make weak-minded individuals do their bidding. Therefore, as Jedi, you're gonna come across as quite a threat as negotiators. You could just go, you will not invade Naboo.
Yes, my lord,
You will leave in peace.
Yes, my lord,
You will crap your pants.
Yes, my lord,
And that would be the movie. So because their cover is blown already, the mysterious Darth Sidious here orders Gunray to execute them. But unfortunately, Agent 47 Gunray is not, because his plan to kill them is to first alert them by destroying the ship they came on and pumping poison gas into the room they're in, which he barely gives any time to take effect. Uh-oh. I mean, some people suggest more time passed than that and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon used the Force technique to hold their breaths longer. But if that's the case, why didn't they just use the breathing apparatus thingies they use later? Wait, I said I liked this movie. I mean, knew nothing but complaining so far. Now I remember why I like this movie. I mean, if there's one thing the prequels did better than the originals, it's the fight choreography. It's fast, stylish, and a hell of a lot of fun to watch. I mean, you could tell Ewan McGregor, for example, had a blast filming these scenes.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys.
And if you are a prequel hater, I have a method of viewing them that might make you enjoy them more. Watch episode 1 like you would a porno. Just ignore the shitty dialogue and bad acting and skip right to the action. Pretend it's you on screen wielding such an envious weapon. So after 2 deadly destroyer droids force Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to make a retreat, note the use of force speed here, I'm bringing that little tidbit up later. Well anyway, the 2 decide to head down to Naboo to warn the people of the coming attack. In the meantime, Gunray catches up with the Queen via Star Wars Skype.
It's Queen Amidala herself.
At last, we are getting results. Again, you come before us, Your Highness.
Oh man, I'm so glad that YouTube access is limited in China because that accent is so offensive.
Again, you come before us, Your Highness.
Again, you come before us, Your Highness. Will you not join me for my piano recital? Later we shall practice Kung Fu, do math homework, and watch Ping Pong final on TV.
This is too close. But we must move quickly to disrupt all communications.
All communication. Seriously, he sounds like that fucking city chicken guy from South Park.
Hello, Shitty Walk. Take order, please.
Hello, is this City Walk?
Yes, this Shitty Walk.
Yes, we'd like one order of the city beef.
Shitty beef.
And I'll have the city chicken.
Shitty chicken.
So the invasion begins as we quickly meet back up with Qui-Gon on Naboo's surface as he runs into the franchise's most despised character, Jar Jar Binks. And to make Qui-Gon as rootable a hero as possible, he saves his life. Shame.
What's Hey, wait! Oh, muy, I love you.
Oh, great. Now we have 2 guys that sound like South Park characters. Gunray sounds like Luke Kim, and Jar Jar sounds like Cartman. When he thought he was a Vietnamese prostitute.
Sucky, $5.
You almost got us killed. Are you brainless?
$10? Sucky.
It won't be necessary.
Oh, but it is. 'Tis demanded by the gods, it is.
Okay, I know all of you are probably expecting me to absolutely tear Jar Jar apart here, but in all honesty, and I swear I'm being 100% real with you guys here, I honestly don't think he's that bad. Huh, I was expecting a violent response. Oh, fucking hell! Okay, yes, Jar Jar is loud, completely nuts, and looks like the love child of Bugs Bunny and the Annoying Orange, but he never says anything offensive or cruel. And I don't even blame Lucas for designing him. I mean, Jar Jar on paper doesn't sound any worse than a giant hairy 7-foot beast who does nothing but growl all day. Now, I'm not saying Jar Jar is a good character because it's clear he's only here for comic relief. And considering he delivers neither comedy or relief means he has no reason to be here, other than to occasionally move the plot along.
Excuse me, but the most safest place would be Gonga City. It's where I grew up. 'Tis a hidden city.
But in actuality, the real reason why I'm not going to rip Jar Jar to shreds in this review is because I already have. Okay, twice. Okay, 3 times. So Jar Jar leads Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to the underwater Gungan city of Ota Gunga. By the way, I love this scene. It just oozes with atmosphere as this spectacular city is slowly revealed. Props to the VFX artists, and John Williams too. Y'all get gold stars. Well anyway, they arrive, but Jar Jar is quickly arrested for returning from a desertion as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon meet up with Boss Nass, who, given the way he speaks, I'm surprised doesn't get as much hate as Jar Jar does.
You and the Naboo form a symbiont circle. What happens to one of you will affect the other. You must understand this.
We should know care about Naboo.
Yeah, we should know about the planet we live on.
We could use a transport.
We shall give you the bongo. The speediest way to the Naboo is going through the planet core.
You know, I've just realised something. If the quickest way to get to Theed is through the planet Core, then that must mean that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon got on ships that landed on the other side of the planet. Seriously, it's as if in the real world they wanted to rescue the Queen of England, but landed in fucking Australia. Whoops! Okay, so they gotta get a bloody move on as Qui-Gon convinces Boss Nass to bring Jar Jar along as a navigator.
Better dead here than dead in the core.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Alright, well, don't ask how. They actually do make their way past all the dangerous sea life.
There's always a bigger fish.
Fish!
As they quickly arrive in Theed, you lucky bastards. But unfortunately, Chairman Gung Pao Chicken beat them to the city and has already captured the Queen.
I will not cooperate.
Now, Your Highness. In time, the suffering of your people will persuade you to see our point of view.
And if not that, then maybe on the line of a Panda Express restaurant we're bringing to your planet O'Hill.
Commander.
Yes, sir.
Process them.
Okay, I think I may have found the worst actor in this movie. No, they're bad, but I don't think anyone comes close to the sheer awfulness of Keira Knightley here. Just look how long she pulls this vacant expression for.
Commander.
Yes, sir.
Process them.
She blinked. Seriously, she's horrendous. Just look at this scene after Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan save him. Look at her reaction after Qui-Gon tells her the Trade Federation means to kill her.
Thank you, Ambassador, but my place is with my people.
It will kill you if you stay.
I'm a woman! Okay, so Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan liberate the Queen's ship as they plan to make their way to Coruscant to get help from the Senate. But in order to do so, they got a blockade to get through.
Shield generator's been hit!
Okay, this is something I never understood about this scene, and also the scene where they gotta escape Hoth in episode 5. So, they gotta get past this blockade here. Why don't they just go another way? What, you mean to tell me that the Trade Federation has a blockade set up all around the planet? That would take thousands, if not millions of ships. It'd be infeasible for even the Empire to pull off.
Ah, you sons of bitches! What the hell? Oh, shit!
Okay, so the group makes it through the blockade thanks to everyone's favourite trash can on wheels, as the Queen wants to thank the little guy. Don't let on to her that R2 is a droid and therefore doesn't need thanking. She probably thanks her toast every morning too.
Thank you, R2-D2. Padme. Clean this droid up as best you can. It deserves our gratitude.
Okay, spoiler alert, but we all should know by now that Keira Knightley here is playing the Queen's decoy and Natalie Portman is playing Padme, the actual Queen. So, knowing that, did we just see a handmaiden tell her Queen to clean a droid? Hey, this isn't a plot hole or anything, it's just, they're really dedicated to this charade, aren't they? I actually kind of wonder if anybody knows they switch places, because they arrive on Tatooine later to repair the ship's busted hyperdrive generator, and Panaki here actually lets Padme go with Qui-Gon, despite his obvious concern about the Queen's safety earlier.
You can't take a Royal Highness there, the Hutts are gangsters.
So yeah, the Queen's head of bloody security doesn't even know about the decoy, because if he did, he wouldn't be so insistent on her going.
The Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet.
But I've just realised I've gone too long speculating, so here's Jar Jar stepping on a landmine. So Qui-Gon, Padme, Jar Jar and R2 head into Mos Eisley to find a T-14 hyperdrive generator. And how's this for coincidence? The very first shop they go into is the only shop on the entire planet that houses this generator. Well, I doubt watching them shop around for it would have been too interesting, so we'll let this slide.
I need parts for a J-type 327 Nubian.
Ah, yes! Nubian! We have lots of that. Pinake! Cabariaco!
My droid has a readout of what I need.
Kunisitaki Maya!
Mitasa Chopasa!
Chat, Captain William, it wanna know bata!
So as Qui-Gon has a natter with Watto here, we're introduced to a 9-year-old Anakin, played by Jake. I'm firing my acting coach, Lloyd. Seriously, what the fuck was Lucas on when he cast this kid? I know who should play young Darth Vader. That stupid kid is only notable acting credit was in that dumbass Christmas movie alongside such acting talent as Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Jamie, please.
Cuz, Dad, when someone makes a promise, they definitely should keep it. You know, it's like what Turbo Man says. Always keep your promises if you want to keep your friends.
That kid is going places.
Yeah, the unemployment line.
Okay, so Padme and Anakin become acquainted via painful dialogue.
Are you an angel? An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about that. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
As Jar Jar's up to his usual antics.
Hey!
Oh, Dad, did you see that? That droid totally kicked Jar Jar and his Gungan boomers. And he barely reacted. Oh, what does this tell us?
He's a no have a boomer!
You're not a eunuch, are you?
Uh-huh.
Well, at least he can't procreate. So meanwhile, Qui-Gon's about to finalize the deal with Watto, though there is a little problem.
Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real.
I don't have anything else, but credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. My trick's gonna work on me. Only money. No money, no parts, no deal.
Okay, this is the biggest part out of all of episode 1 that doesn't make any lick of sense. There's like 1 billion different ways this problem can be averted. 1. Watto will take Republic credits, so why doesn't Qui-Gon just go to a currency exchange? What, you mean to tell me that there isn't one on the entire planet? Because if there isn't, someone should really fucking capitalize on that. 2. Shop elsewhere. Watto's shop was literally the first one you walked in. Surely there'll be other places that sell T14 hyperdrive generators. And I know Watto says he's the only one that sells them, but of course he's gonna say that. He's an entrepreneur. He's not gonna send someone to buy something off a competitor. 3. Explain the situation to Watto. Say, if you give us the T14 hyperdrive generator, you can come with us to Coruscant and we'll make sure the Senate pays you handsomely. Even if he doesn't agree to it, it's worth a try. 4. Steal the damn generator. You're talking about saving lives here, so I dare say nicking the damn thing will be the lesser of 2 evils. 5. Watto said it'd be cheaper to buy a new ship. So why don't you just do that? Sell the Queen's ship and buy one that actually works. 6. Call for help. Sure, your signal might be traced, but aren't Jedi supposed to be able to telepathically communicate? You know, like Luke and Leia did in Empire? And even if that's impossible, you might as well call for help normally, seeing as how Darth Maul finds you later anyway. 7. Do what Obi-Wan did in A New Hope and hire someone to fly you off Tatooine in their ship. A traveler akin to someone like Han Solo would surely accept Republic credits. 8. You know what? I swear I have more options in mind, but if I list them all off, then this review's gonna end up longer than this guy's dick in a cookie jar. Long story short, George, you royally fucked up. So Watto essentially says something along the lines of,
come back when you're a little, richer.
So the group is forced to leave.
We're leaving. Jar Jar.
Who else but Jar Jar? He's Jar Jar, Jar Jar. He sure really is a pain in the crack. He's Jar Jar, Jar Jar.
He's back!
So Shmi here offers to cook a meal for the group as during dinner, Qui-Gon mistakenly leaks his Jedi identity. Again.
You're a Jedi Knight, aren't you?
Worst Jedi ever. Jar Jar does his best Yoshi impression. And Qui-Gon reveals to Anakin and Shmi as to why they're here and how they're now stranded on the planet. So the group cooks up the dumbest plan imaginable by placing a bet on Anakin to win a pod race, which is going down the next day with Watto.
What would the boy ride? He smashed up my pod in the last race. To take some long time to fix it.
It wasn't my fault, really. Saboba Flashmate is...
Whoa, wait a minute, he did what?
Saboba Flashmate is...
He flashed you? Well, you could say that was a dick move. Okay, so Watto accepts the deal. If Anakin wins the race, then Watto will give Qui-Gon the generator. If he loses, they'll have to give up the Queen's ship. But the next day, Qui-Gon wants to take the bet a bit further.
I'll wager my new racing pod against, say, the boy and his mother.
What? Wait a minute, what do you mean, my new racing pod? I mean, I know you want to pretend to Watto it's yours, but that doesn't give you the right to bet away something you don't own. What if Anakin loses the race? How are you going to explain that one? Yeah, sorry Annie, but I kinda wagered your Pride and Joy pod racer on the pod race, so seeing as how you lost, you have to now give it to Watto. You're wishing a bantha would shell off my face right now, aren't you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
This is so wizard, Annie. I'm sure you'll do it this time.
Do what?
Finish the race, of course.
God, get with the program, Padme. God.
You've never won a race?
Well, not exactly.
Not even finished?
Kitster's right, I will this time.
Of course you will.
You see, I just realized how dumb my plan was, so I just paid Saboba to throw the race. Why didn't I think of that before? Okay, so we enter the arena as the Boonta Eve pod race gets underway, and after Jar Jar smells some bantha shit, thanks George, the competitors all line up to begin the race. Oh, Anakin!
Wait, little Skywalker is stalled.
Get going, you pint-sized dick stain, you're gonna fall behind. Go! Go! Go!
Go?
Go! Not even that one worked. Sorry, it's a defunct one. Lou? Lou? Hello? Hello? Well, I got him going. Okay, so I don't care what anybody says. I freaking love this scene. I know a lot of people say the pod race is way too long, but guys, it's a 10-minute race. Formula 1 races are like 10 times longer than that. And there's a lot to love here. You get a great sense of speed. The sound design for the scene is incredible. And Johnny Knoxville even makes a cameo as a pit droid. What is there not to like? So after a thrilling 3 laps of carnage and mayhem, Anakin catches up with Saboba as he ruptures Saboba's pod somehow and forces him to crash.
Fuck this place!
Yeah. Okay, that doesn't happen as much as we all wish it would. No, Anakin wins the race and Watto agrees to release him from slavery. We then go back to the Skywalker house where Qui-Gon tells him the good news and now he can come with Qui-Gon to train to become a Jedi. But Anakin quickly realizes something.
What about Mom? Is she free too?
I tried to free your mother, Annie, but Watto wouldn't have it.
Hey? What do you mean you tried to save her? What did you literally just bring home?
Mom, we sold the pod. Look at all the money we have.
Oh my goodness, but that's so wonderful, Annie.
Well, why don't you just use that money to buy Shmi's freedom? You big knob gobbler. And for those who are saying, well, maybe Watto doesn't want to sell her. Well, in the next movie, he fucking does. And judging by what he says, not far from now.
You sold her.
Years ago.
And for those who are saying, well, maybe the money isn't enough to buy her freedom. Remember, this is what the fastest pod racer in the galaxy sold for. Qui-Gon even wagered said pod for Anakin's freedom before. So we know the value of it is worth at least one slave. God, this makes no sense. I need one of those death sticks. Hey, Bob. How'd you actually take one of these things anyway? Oh, they're suppositories. I'll, save them for a special occasion. So because Shmi is unable to be freed too, they have to leave her behind as Anakin says his goodbyes. And to give credit where it's due, this is actually a really well done scene.
Will I ever see you again?
What does your heart tell you?
I hope so. Yes. I guess.
Holy shit! Jake Lloyd's actually, what's the word for it? Acting! Yeah, I gotta give props to Penilla August, the actress playing Shmi here, because she has great chemistry with Jake Lloyd. I'm being serious. I buy that these two are mother and son immediately, and their chemistry combined with John Williams' swooping score makes this goodbye scene pretty powerful in my opinion.
And don't look back. Don't look back.
Okay, so Qui-Gon and Anakin run toward the ship. Deleted scene here might have helped to explain that, as a Sith Lord is on their case, as Darth Maul here gets on his speeder to chase after him. What the hell? What's with this comically sudden fall there? Okay, so Darth Maul catches up with the two of them, and after a brief duel in the desert, Anakin and Qui-Gon make their escape.
My guess is he was after the Queen.
What are we gonna do about it?
We should be patient. Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hi. You're a Jedi too? Pleased to meet you.
He's gonna kill you. So the group eventually reach Coruscant, and after what is admittedly cinematic equivalent of watching paint dry,
the Senate is full of greedy, squabbling delegates.
There is no interest in the common good.
No way, that's a compliment, because at least when you watch paint dry, you get a nicely painted room afterwards.
Chancellor Valorum seems to think there is hope.
If I may say so, Your Majesty, the Chancellor has little real power. He is...
I know. I'll just do like Lisa and escape into fantasy.
Our best choice would be to push...
Damn TV, you've ruined my imagination, just like you've ruined my ability to... Oh well.
Star Wars The Phantom Menace was the most disappointing thing since my son.
Okay, I'm being harsh. I don't hate these scenes, but by Star Wars standards, they are pretty dull. So let's go right to the scene where Amidala pleads her case to the Senate.
Naboo's system has been invaded by the droid armies of the Trade.
I object. There is no proof. This is incredible. We recommend a commission be sent to Naboo to ascertain the truth.
The Congress of Malastare concurs with the honorable delegate from the Trade Federation.
Okay, this is something I don't think I've heard anyone bring up about this scene before, but here's the thing. Valorum here is asking for proof that there is actually an invasion on Naboo. The Senate wants a commission to be sent to see if Amidala's claims are legit. But, two things, okay? One, why the hell would she lie? What would she have to gain from saying her planet is under attack when it really isn't? And two, they want somebody to be sent to Naboo to see the invasion firsthand. and I'm guessing they want someone relatively respected and trusted to do that. Well, to that I say, who better than a Jedi? The Senate can surely trust the guys who keep the damn peace, right? But the thing is, 2 Jedi have already seen the damn invasion. Just get Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon to testify in the Senate and Valorum surely will have to believe them, especially seeing as how Valorum was the one to send them to Naboo in the first place!
What?
Fuck it. So, the politicians here are about as useful as real-world politicians, so Amidala ends up at a loss for what to do. Meanwhile, Anakin's getting tested by the Jedi Council, and this speech by Yoda's always bugged me.
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
I miss her.
Afraid to lose her, I think,
Well, what do you mean he's afraid to lose her? He already has lost you hairy green dildo.
What does that got to do with anything?
Everything. Fear is the path to the dark side.
Eh?
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
God, this makes no sense. How can fear lead to anger and eventually the dark side? Fear is a natural human response. It's what keeps us alive. I mean, in episode 3, Yoda tells Anakin to train himself to let go of everything he fears to lose. Well, if you become unafraid of losing anything, well, that to me seems more like a dark side way of thinking. God, is Yoda just randomly pulling this out of his ass?
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to fear. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to fear. Fear leads to fear. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to hate. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering. Fear leads to fear. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to fear. Anger leads to...
So, because Anakin, has a mother, the Jedi Council refused to train him. But there are other more important matters at hand, as Amidala has decided to go back to Naboo, which makes a long and arduous trip to the Senate rather pointless.
Go with the Queen to Naboo and discover the identity of this Dark Warrior. This is the clue we need to unravel the mystery of the Sith.
Oh, wait a minute, what did you say before?
We will use all our resources to unravel this mystery. We will discover the identity of your attacker.
And now you're like, nah, you do it. We're far too busy sitting around, sitting some more, sitting. Okay, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? I'm like so goddamn bored. Hey, Mace. Mace! Can I have an iPad 16 like you got?
No.
Oh, come on!
The code forbids it.
Oh. Okay, how about some death sticks then? Anyone? Yoda? Come on, man. I know you like to take some of those bad boys.
I do not.
Oh, God. Lame you are. Okay, so because the Jedi Council are aiming for the Guinness Galaxy record of sitting down for the longest period of time, Amidala is seriously lacking some backup, so she does something no one in the universe would have any sense in doing. She asks Jar Jar for help.
Isa, Your Highness?
Yeah, apparently the Gungans have an army. Strange how they have an army on what is seemingly a so peaceful planet, but I digress. Amidala heads into the forest to ask for their help, when Padme comes forward to reveal her secret identity.
I ask you to help us. No, I beg you to help us. We are your humble servants.
You know, I just had this hilarious image of Brian Blessed behind his microphone doing that laugh. I so want to see that clip.
You shall not think you are greater than the Gungans.
Sorry.
Like this. Maybe we shall being friends.
Okay, Boss Nass is officially the missing 8th dwarf.
Pick up the salt. Now don't try to bluff. Work up a leather. And when you got enough, get your hands full of water. You snort and you snuff and go.
So the Gungans agree to help as a battle is quickly underway. The Gungans position themselves outside of Theed to draw the droid armies, as Padme, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Panaka's wait a minute! Anakin? He's here? Qui-Gon, did you just bring an 8-year-old to a fucking war zone?
Yes.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Alright, so despite that leap in stupidity costing my temporal lobe, Qui-Gon tells Anakin to hide in a nearby cockpit, as guess who shows up? You guys might want to shoot him. Guys. Okay, so this is where the movie gets very convoluted. We end up with 4 separate battles here, all of which are going on at the same time. How am I supposed to cover this? Well, you know what? I am gonna cover them. The only way I know how. A Whose Line Is It Anyway style hoedown. Take away, Laura Hall. Wait, a hoedown requires 4 people. Your cubics.
Boy, these iPad games, they sure are stupid. Oh, hey.
Would you mind awfully telling us what Jar Jar is up to?
Absolutely.
Jar Jar and the Gungans face off against the droids. Jar Jar's so annoying, wish he'd die of hemorrhoids. They say we beat him and shove a bowl up his ass real quick, roast him on an open fire and have Gungan on a stick.
Tastes like chicken.
Ew, gross.
Not bad. Okay, Joey.
Yeah?
What's little Anakin up to?
I'm on. Anakin goes to space to take out the droid ship. He blows the fucker up. But I don't give a shit. Well, Anakin is the reason this movie was a flop. I'd shove a stick up his ass and use him as a mop.
Very nice. And for verse 3 we got Ill Nedge.
Let's throw down for a hoedown! Ho, Padme and Panaka get caught by the Viceroy, but lucky for the 2 of them, they're saved by the decoy. For Natalie Portman's record, this movie's a real gaffe. Must be her biggest regret since that Golden Globes laugh.
Oh, woman. Alright, I must spit verse 4. Ho, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan go and face that mob, but Qui-Gon gets his saber in the gun, and Obi-Wan goes, no! There was something you could have done, Obi-Wan, you knobhead. If you just use your bloody force speed, then Qui-Gon won't be dead. Qui-Gon won't be dead. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, we should do this again sometime.
I concur.
Yeah, hey, we're getting paid for this, right?
Back to the review. So the battle is eventually won. Obi-Wan kills the prequel's best character. Shame. As Obi-Wan and Yoda meet up to discuss Anakin's fate.
Confer on you the level of Jedi Knight. The Council does. But agree with your taking this boy as your Padawan learner? I do not.
Well, it looks like Anakin won't be trained. Tough luck, Obi.
Agree with you, the Council does.
Wait, what?
Your apprentice, Skywalker, will be.
Oh, well, what made you change your mind? At 1 minute you're like, too dangerous the boy is. And then you're like, too fucked up on bacon bribery to give a shit I am. Make up your damn mind, man. So Obi-Wan is free to train Anakin, because, you know, the plot says so, as we cut to Qui-Gon's funeral. Is it bad that the character that's displaying the most emotion here is the droid? Well, about that shit, it's time to celebrate, as Amidala hands Boss Nass one of those plasma ball thingies you buy at a local gadget tax shop, as Boss Nass proclaims... He's gonna kill you. So that was episode 1, and when I look at all the things he did right, I find it difficult to call it a bad movie. The action is awesome, John Williams' score is phenomenal, the visual effects are pretty good for a pre-millennium film that uses them so extensively, and the two leads in the form of Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor I find quite likeable and intriguing. I mean, there isn't much to their characters, but I certainly would have liked to have known more about them. So you gotta give props to these actors for doing all they could given their script. Now, I'm not gonna go off my usual tangent and talk about how the movie could be improved because you all know that already. Yes, Jar Jar is annoying, Jake Lloyd's acting is abysmal, there's like a billion character decisions that don't make any lick of sense. But when it comes down to it, for me personally, the worst thing a movie can do is bore me. Did episode 1 bore me? Hell no. Now yes, everyone says there are boring parts of this movie, most notably the scenes on Coruscant, but am I the only one who finds these scenes somewhat interesting? I do think it's cool to see how Palpatine manipulates Amidala without her even knowing, how he uses the Senate's corruption to his advantage to play the hero, to win over the people, which would eventually win him an empire. I think it's quite fascinating to see this master manipulator at work. There's other things too that I think get vastly overlooked, like the scene when Anakin says goodbye to his mother, which I think is handled very well. Also, episode 1 certainly uses a lot more practical sets than the next two films, but advanced visual effects are still used in such a way to offer us a greater glimpse into the Star Wars universe. I mean, there's so many scenes here that would be impossible for the original trilogy to show us. Now, yes, practical effects beat visual ones any day, but as I said, for 1999, these visual effects are damn impressive. They don't hold up particularly well today, but you gotta give props to the filmmakers that they managed to show us scenes like this via computers that looked like this. I don't care what anybody says, that's impressive. Now, if you were to ask me what I thought the absolute worst aspect of the prequels is, it's the painfully cheesy and awkward romance between Anakin and Padme in episode 3 and especially 2. But in episode 1, their relationship feels a bit more, shall we say, believable.
Are you an angel?
Okay, yes, there's terrible dialogue, but still, I don't know, as kids their relationship seems a little more heartfelt.
I made this for you, so you'd remember me. I carved it out of a poor snippet. It'll bring you good fortune.
It's beautiful. But I don't need this to remember you by.
Aww. You see, there's a connection here. Anakin doesn't come across as a creepy perv in this one, so his relationship with Padme comes across as far more genuine. And when you got awesome scenes like the pod race, the Darth Maul lightsaber duel, the reveal of the Gungan city, the kick-ass opening action scene in the Trade Federation ship, there's a lot to love here. And in my opinion, this makes up for the film's shortcomings. Now, is episode 1 disappointing as a follow-up to this trilogy? Yeah, I would definitely say it is. But if you judge episode 1 without comparing it to the mastery of the original films, it's really not that bad. Hell, I wouldn't even call the Phantom Menace the worst of the prequels. That honor would go to...
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
God help me.
Screw gravity.
Ah, YouTube. Such magnificent, thought-provoking content for all to appreciate and enjoy. Yeah, I've hit that weird side of the internet again. Oh, what's this? Belated media, huh? Well, it's about bloody time. Let's give him a watch.
What if episode 1 was good? Like, really good? What if I were a story exec at Fox and George Lucas came to me and was like, this is the film I'm directing, and I was like, no, let's go through this right now and let's see all the points that work and don't work, and I'm going to rework it right now with you.
Interesting.
Wow, that was very well thought out. Great analysis, lots of interesting ideas. Though I personally thought episode 1 was good.
You're kidding me, right?
Well, I suppose that might be a bit of a what the f***?
Hi.
How are you doing this?
Well, believe it or not, that's only the second question that deserves answering here. You really thought that the Phantom Menace was good?
Well, okay, calling it good might be a bit of a stretch, but it had some awesome things about it.
Yes, but literally anything good about the film has some drawback associated with it.
Oh yeah? Boontative podrace.
Too long.
Obi-wan.
Underdeveloped.
Darth Maul fight scene.
Over-choreographed.
Cutting-edge visual effects.
Dated as fuck.
Jar Jar.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and pretend you didn't say that.
John Williams score.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yes! Yes!
Okay, I will concede that episode 1 wasn't a total disaster. But we both know which episode of Star Wars was.
Star Wars episode 2.
Yeah, what a mess.
Attack of the Groans. Yeah, because at the time, everyone hoped that episode 1 was just a fluke. Everyone thought, yeah, Lucas will have learned from his mistakes, episode 2 is gonna be awesome. And whilst there legitimately are things episode 2 does better than 1, overall, I'd have to call it yet another step back. So why, when asked about my opinion of this film, would I describe it as a great big steaming pile of hairy Wookiee shit? Well, why tell when I can show? This is Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
So, should I go?
Oh yeah, of course. Will you stop that? My heart can't take you showing up all the time in unexpected places.
What, you mean like this? Bye.
Damn you and your impeccable green screen. So our second chapter begins back on Coruscant as Padme, now a distinguished senator, arrives for an important vote in the Senate. But our opening scene I find rather unfitting, mostly due to this.
I guess I was wrong. There was no danger at all.
A few moments later.
Yeah, what is up with that ironic twist of fate there anyway? He says there is no danger at all, and just 2 seconds later, boom! You guys know what I'm on about. It's the comedic tempting fate trope where you say something that dares the universe to do something and then it actually happens.
How we doing?
Things couldn't get much worse. The universe just loves proving me wrong, doesn't it?
But why is it here? Again, it's a comedic trope, but it's used just before people have been viciously murdered. Imagine if in episode 4, during the Obi-Wan Vader duel, Han just shouted out, "Don't worry, kid, the old man's gonna be fine."
No!
Oh, sorry. You see, it would totally detract from the moment. George, there's a time and place for jokes in your movie. This isn't one of them. What, is this your second line of dialogue in the film and you've fucked up already? Oh boy. So it turns out Padme used a decoy to fool her would-be assassins. Yeah, this supposedly pacifistic character is perfectly okay putting the lives of her friends in harm's way to save her own neck.
What a fucking bitch, am I right?
But Padme wants answers, so she goes to the Jedi for help.
I think that Count Dooku was behind it.
He is a political idealist, not a murderer.
Just 1 second. There, I've dealt with the literal dickhead. Continue. So Palpatine suggests a Jedi bodyguard for Padme. And because poor old Obi-Wan seems to be the only Jedi alive these days that actually seems to do anything, the burden is on him and his apprentice, the now grown-up Anakin. But maybe this wasn't the wisest of ideas, as Anakin's balls are currently about as blue as his lightsaber.
Annie? My goodness, you've grown.
So have you. Grown more beautiful, I mean.
Oh, straight in with a compliment, not a wise decision. I mean, look at her face now. I just love this look she's given. She's like, oh god, this is what I'm gonna have to put up with this whole movie, aren't I? You and me both, love.
The situation is more dangerous than the senator will admit.
I don't need more security, I need answers. I want to know who's trying to kill me.
Oh, come on, Padme, isn't it obvious who wants you dead? You made a certain someone very angry in the last movie.
Look, if somebody ordered a shitty beef and I complain because they say they ordered a shitty shrimp, it's not my fault. He gets a shitty chicken poured all over his f***ing head.
You're quite right. He's very odd indeed.
So after our heroes get acquainted and I have my usual homicidal thoughts over murdering Jar Jar, the fans send their regards. Padme decides to turn in as Obi-Wan and Anakin act as her bodyguards.
She programmed R2 to warn us if there is an intruder.
There are many other ways to kill a senator.
I know, but we also want to catch this assassin, don't we, Master?
Okay, piss off, movie. I know you want to make Natalie Portman look amazing, but nobody sleeps like that. With the way her arms are propped up, it looks more like she's posing for the cover of GQ or something. I'm fabulous. Fabulous. But this does at least give us a good opportunity to get to know our two protagonists better. Now, if only what they were saying made sense, we'd be in business.
You look tired. I don't sleep well anymore. Because of your mother? I don't know why I keep dreaming about her.
Wait a minute. Are you mean to tell me that in the 10 years since Anakin left Tatooine, he never went back to visit his mother? It's like the last thing you said to her, you Tatooinean twonk. I will come back and free you, Mom. I promise. I mean, I know the Jedi forbid emotional attachments, but beyond that, that's utter bollocks. There's inevitably going to be an emotional attachment between master and apprentice, for example.
And he was a good friend.
And there's many instances of Jedi having non-Jedi friends as well, so we know emotional attachments aren't just limited to those within the Jedi Order. So, fly to Tatooine, you twit. See your mom, there's nothing stopping you.
I'd much rather dream about Padme.
Oh, okay. He's thinking alright, just, not with his brain. I mean, God only knows what he was doing under those robes earlier today. I mean, just look at him.
Dirty bastard.
So the two Jedi continue to bicker about some old bullshit when a drone carrying two poisonous worm-like things comes along. Unfortunately, R2 is not feeling up to the task right now. Alright, who would install Windows Vista and R2? But Anakin and Obi-Wan sense Padme is in danger regardless as they rush in to save her.
We will not exceed our mandate, my young Padawan learner.
Yes, Anakin, we will not exceed our mandate. Allowing to demonstrate this by jumping out of a fucking 100-story window. Obi-Wan Kenobi, esteemed Jedi Master and professional twat.
What?
So Anakin gives chase on a speeder, and after managing to save his dumbass master, the two give chase to Zam Wesell, a character who somehow is far more interesting when she's a blob of pixels. But get this, the two seemingly lose her trail as Anakin decides to... Okay, what the hell is he doing?
Maybe committed suicide.
Okay, what? No. Here. Annie. Bushy. 9.
9.
What in the name of Yoda's sweaty green butt crack was that? I mean, what did Obi-Wan say earlier?
Besides, your senses aren't that attuned to my young apprentice.
Oh yeah, they're not that great. They're only attuned enough for you to be able to fall several hundred feet through the air and catch a ride on one ship upon thousands that's traveling hundreds of miles an hour perfectly. Did Michael Jordan just go number 2? Because that was some bullshit.
Obviously.
Okay, so Anakin causes Zam to crash, which is weird, is Anakin wanting to question her to find out who she's working for, so wouldn't you think he'd try to keep her alive as best he could? Ah, fuck it.
Anakin! She went into the club, Master.
Patience. Use the Force. Think.
Use the Force. Think. Isn't that a bit contradictory?
Use the Force. Think.
Don't think. Feel.
Yeah, Bruce gets it.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
Uh-oh. Huh. Well, anyway.
Do you want some wacky bracky?
Piss off, man!
Okay, bye.
Okay, so Anakin goes around the club trying to spot Zam out. And, well, honestly, this could be a really interesting scene.
And I think she's a changeling. In that case, be extra careful.
Yeah, I mean, Zam could take the form of literally anyone. Anybody in this bar could be her, so Anakin and Obi-Wan are going to have to use their keen Jedi senses to pick her out from the crowd. Oh, Zam could just not bother and look like she did before. Ugh, what a missed opportunity. I mean, this could have been a really cool scene. Like maybe Anakin is looking around and all of a sudden he attacks Obi-Wan. And for a moment you think, what the fuck? Then it turns out Zam disguised herself as Obi-Wan as she reveals her true form, and that would show and help demonstrate how powerful a Jedi Anakin is becoming. It would also make this line,
Why do I get the feeling you're going to be the death of me?
a little more clever, where it would turn out that Obi-Wan wasn't sensing what transpired in Episode 4, but what instead would happen in a few minutes. Regardless, George, you introduce a shape-shifting character into your movie, but you never have her shapeshift. I mean, she's a freaking assassin. Shape-shifting should have been her greatest asset. She could just morph to Rose Byrne over here and stab Padme in the back when she least expected it. Jeesh. Oh, and speaking of characters not using their tried and tested abilities.
And who hired you?
It's just a job.
Who hired you? Tell us. Tell us now!
I think you're forgetting something, Anakin.
Yeah, tell us now.
That's the extent of my interrogating abilities. Man, if only as Jedi could trick people's minds. A sort of Jedi mind trick, if you will.
He still has much to learn, Master.
But it doesn't matter anyway, as Jango kills Zam before she can spill the beans. So Anakin and Obi-Wan are ordered to split up. Obi-Wan will track down the location of Jango, and Anakin will protect Padme. Which is weird. I mean, what happened to the whole always two there are no more, no less thing? But whatever. These guys are clearly too busy to help.
In time, you will learn to trust your feelings. Then you will be invincible. I have said it many times. You are the most gifted Jedi I have ever met.
Gifted?
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted?
Oh, damn you, Mel Brooks, for giving me such a dirty mind. Now I have to edit this.
I wanted to tell you, you have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he ends up putting him in a gimp suit.
What?
Okay, so Padme has the order to return to Naboo, but first she has to appoint a replacement senator. No doubt someone intelligent, passionate, and all around fit to do the job.
Representative Binks? I haven't worked for a year to defeat the Military Creation Act, to not be here when its fate is decided.
Sometimes we must let go of our pride and do what is requested of us.
Why do you reckon that's what George Lucas told his film crew before every shoot?
Anakin, you've grown up.
Master Obi-Wan manages not to see it.
Quick little thing to point out to you, Anakin. You know how just last night there was that flying drone right outside of Padme's room with the intent of killing her? Well, isn't this flying drone right outside of Padme's room drawing the least bit of suspicion then? You know, the one with the laser that doesn't look the least bit like a laser sight on a gun? Isn't that drawing any suspicion, not getting any Jedi senses tingling?
Don't get me wrong. Obi-Wan is a great mentor. As wise as... I'm deeply sorry, Master.
Please don't look at me like that.
Why not?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Sorry, milady.
Oh, jeez, somebody get him onto the sex offender database stat. Man, I know he didn't actually do anything, but just being in the presence of this guy is enough to give people nightmares. I mean, check out his last victim.
I can still hear that voice.
Sorry, milady.
Ugh. So anyway, Anakin and Padme set off to Naboo as Obi-Wan gets underway in tracking down Jango. His only lead is the poisoned dart he left behind, so in order to identify it, he asks the cook at the local diner. Okay.
Hey, oh, buddy.
Oh, jeez, it's like what the Great Mighty Pooh would look like if he sprouted a mustache.
So, my friend, what can I do for you?
You can tell me what this is.
Wow. What do you know?
Okay, it's like he's channeled Owen Wilson then.
Wow. I ain't seen one of these since I was prospecting on Subterrell, beyond the Outer Rim. What you got here is a Camino saber dart.
Yeah, 'cause us prospectors know all about poison darts. Okay, so Obi-Wan miraculously has the lead as to where the dart came from. Problem is, Camino ain't on the map.
Are you sure you have the right coordinates?
According to my information, it should appear in this quadrant here, just south of the Rishi Maze.
Just south of the Rishi Maze? I don't think the concept of south, east, west, and north exists in space, you bellend.
What?
Okay, so Obi-Wan's an idiot, so he visits a place filled with those far smarter than he is.
Hello, Master Obi-Wan.
Hello.
Yeah, it's glad to see the Jedi Council are doing a bang-up job enforcing safety with the handling of a lightsaber. I mean, this right here, that's a perfectly safe way to handle something that can slice your hand off.
Hello. I'm sorry to disturb you, Master.
What help can I be, Obi-Wan?
I'm looking for a planet described to me by an old friend. I trust him, but the systems don't show in the archive maps.
Lost a planet, Master Obi-Wan has. How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
How embarrassing. For some reason that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, it was the credits quote on the DVD. So Obi-Wan shows Yoda where the planet should be, as a youngling suggests that the records have been erased.
The Padawan is right. Go to the center of gravity's pull and find your planet. You will.
No, find the planet the star orbits, he will. I mean, Obi-Wan is going to have to do a lot more research to find out how far away Camino orbits said star. And that's not to mention how far along the planet's cycle is. And that's not to mention...
There it is, R4, our missing planet Camino.
Never mind. So Obi-Wan heads down to the planet's surface and meets up with the Kaminoans, who sort of look like if a sperm grew arms and legs. Anywho, it turns out a now-deceased Jedi by the name of Sifo Dyas put forward an order for a clone army. Yeah, Sifo Dyas. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? But don't let Obi-Wan catch on. He's a little slow.
What?
But Obi-Wan is here to find Jango after all, as he organises a meeting with the man himself. Now, Obi-Wan doesn't know yet this is the man he's looking for, but judging by Jango's actions, well, that won't last long.
Your clones are very impressive. You must be very proud.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
Ever made your way as far into the interior as Coruscant?
Once or twice.
You know, Jango, you are doing a piss-poor job of concealing your identity. I mean, you walk to your left here, and, well, you've just given Obi-Wan a direct view of your armor, you Mandalorian moron.
Jango, I can, totally see your armor back there.
Possibly.
No, there's no possibly about it. I can see the helmet and everything. How dumb do you think I am?
Fairly.
Alright, that's it, you're dead. Ah! Come back here, you metallic cocksocket! Okay, so Obi-Wan is ordered to bring Django in as we cut back to Anakin and Padme as they've arrived on Naboo. Now, lo and behold, people, George Lucas's attempt at writing romance.
We used to lie out on the sand and let the sun dry us, and try to guess the names of the birds singing.
Yes, but can you guess the names of these birds? This one's fuck, and that one's off.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Did I just watch a scene in a canonical Star Wars movie where a young Darth Vader talks about how much he doesn't like sand?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. So, yeah, God only knows why Padme starts liking this guy and... Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, she's contractually obligated to. Otherwise, it would cause a time paradox, the results of which would cause a chain reaction that would travel the very fabric of the space-time continuum and destroy the entire universe.
Whoa, this is heavy.
So the film has no choice but to continue developing the so-called romance between the two. Oh, well, I continue my relationship with Senor Cerveza. A minimum of 7 of these is required for viewing episode 2. The recommended amount is as many as it takes for you to pass out, but I got a review to do.
If Master Obi-Wan caught me doing this, he'd be very grumpy.
He'd be grumpy over you using the Force on a pair? Ugh. God, the script of this movie is like Jar Jar. Stupid, incoherent, and it would entertain me greatly to see it be put through a paper shredder.
I wish that was so.
Well, cyanide pills at the ready, folks.
From the moment I met you, all those years ago, not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you.
And some days I thought about you several times.
And now that I'm with you again, I'm in agony.
Well, at least that's the first time I've ever been able to relate to Anakin in this movie.
The closer I get to you, the worse it gets.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Annie. I just let one off.
I can't breathe. I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
Can you feel the cringe tonight? God, how much longer is this scene? Yeah, well that's a minute too long.
If you're suffering as much as I am, please tell me.
Well, on the bright side, watching this movie can be seen as an alternative to Epicac.
Okay, here we go.
The closer I get to you, the worse it gets.
Ooh, one down.
The thought of not being with you. I can't breathe. I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
No, please, no more.
My heart is beating, hoping that that kiss will not become a scar.
Dad, I'm scared.
You are in my very soul.
Get the phone.
Tormenting.
Call 911. Lois!
Anything is possible, Padme.
Okay. I think it's all gone.
I wish that I could just wish away my feelings.
I don't want it.
I don't like sand.
Who wants to watch episode 3?
We live in a real world. Come back to it.
Okay, so all jokes aside, Padme is in an awkward situation here. Clearly she's not interested in pursuing a relationship and creepy old Anakin is hardly making things any better. And I would sympathise with her character here, were it not for the fact that she's dressed like a bloody dominatrix. And that's just part of the ensemble. She wears sexy makeup, she takes Anakin on luxurious canoe trips and romantic picnics, she sits with him by a fireplace in a room that looks like the set of a high-class porno.
I mean, the candles, the music, the sexy dress, I mean, what's going on here?
I honestly feel kind of sorry for Anakin here. He's clearly about as horny as Austin Bloody Powers, and yet this tease is none the wiser. Padme, you look so hot right now, you could give this man an erection.
Most impressive.
Okay, I am goddamn tired of all this romantic bullshit. When the hell can I see some bloody action? Oh, here's some bloody action. Oh yeah, he's fine. He only took a missile to the face. Walk it off. Whoa, Obi-Wan going all harangue on our asses there.
KO! You win.
Huh, that'd be cool though. A Tekken-like fighting game for Star Wars and... I forget I said anything.
Oh, not good.
Ooh, do yourself a favour and never freeze frame these scenes. The CGI recreations of their facial features will give you nightmares.
Oh my God! What's wrong with your face?
Oh yeah, because you'll never know when you'll need a metal sharp thing in your arm. Don't recall him ever having that in this. No. No, there is no way he could hang on to that thin-ass rope when he fell from that high.
My arms can't hold on much longer!
Yes, the movie with the talking plastic dinosaurs more realistic physics than this. So Jango manages to escape, but thanks to a well-placed homing beacon, Obi-Wan manages to follow him to Geonosis, where we admittedly get a pretty sweet dogfight between the two. I mean, I have to give mad props to Skywalker Sound. Check out their sweet work with these seismic charges. But back on Naboo, Anakin's in a rough patch as he has a nightmare of his mother. Oh, so he thinks. I reckon he was actually more disturbed by the sand she was standing on. But I digress. He and Padme head for Tatooine to ask Shmi's new family where she is.
She was about halfway home when they took her. Those Tuscans walk like men, but they're vicious, mindless monsters.
Okay, what kind of direction was Christensen given here anyway? I mean, what kind of face is this? Okay, Hayden, we need more emotion here, more feeling of dread in the face, and... I've got it. Pretend you have an itchy butt crack, but you're not allowed to scratch it. Okay? And action.
30 of us went out after her. 4 of us came back. I'd be out there with them, but after I lost my leg, there's little hope she's lasted this long.
It's okay, Anakin. I know a guy. In fact, he sat right next to you.
Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher.
So yeah, Anakin heads off to save his mom as back with Obi-Wan, he's managed to sneak into the factories on Geonosis as he eavesdrops on a separatist meeting. Here we finally get to meet Christopher Lee's character, Count Dooku.
As I explained to you earlier, I am quite convinced that 10,000 more systems will rally to our cause with your support, gentlemen.
Fun fact time. The name Dooku derives from the Japanese word doku, which means poison. Unfortunately though, the origins of the name is far cooler than the foreign language translations, as Dooku sounds suspiciously like Dooku, which in Portuguese means, from the ass.
Dooku.
The Techno-Union Army is at your disposal, Count.
Okay, what the hell was that? I mean, I researched this. This suit here is meant to keep this guy alive, but what was up with that tuning sound effect? It looked more like he pressed the wrong button and accidentally played his guilty pleasure iTunes playlist.
The Techno Union Army.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
I'm in love with the coco.
Is at your disposal, Count.
So back in Tatooine, we see Anakin has made it to the Tusken camp where his mom's being held, as he makes his way through the camp to find her.
Oh, you look so handsome.
Yeah, I bet she's pretty ecstatic over the fact that her son grew up looking like this, as opposed to this.
Now I am complete.
I love.
Oh my god, you are not going with that approach. That's the kind of thing parodies of this scene does.
Oh, Sylvia. I la. Oh gosh, I hate breaking their hearts like that.
So Shmi dies, not exactly sure why, as Anakin goes apeshit on the sand people. I mean, I know he doesn't like sand, but I mean, jeez. Anywho, he arrives later at the last homestead as Padme, dressed like a hippie for some reason, attempts to get through to him.
Why couldn't I save her? I know I could have.
Sometimes there are things no one can fix.
Like your acting, for example.
You're not all powerful.
Well, I should be. I will be the most powerful Jedi ever. I promise you. I will even learn to stop people from dying.
Well, you could always consider a career as a doctor or something.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault.
So yeah, Anakin has his tantrum and is quick to drop the bomb that he just committed mass genocide.
I slaughtered them like animals.
And upon hearing this truly horrifying news, Padme responds appropriately.
To be angry is to be human.
Oh yeah, she responds appropriately, alright. For a Nazi! I mean, sweet fried bantha balls on a steak, lady, the guy just confessed to mass fucking murder of women and children! The response to that isn't, to be angry is to be human. No! The response to that is, holy fucking shit, I'm dating a goddamn psychopath! R2, plot a course for Coruscant, I need to have this guy arrested and jailed for life! Holy shit, woman, you're as fucked as he is! Or hell, maybe even more so. Remember what Obi-Wan said in A New Hope?
Who's the more foolish? The fool or the fool who follows him?
Yeah, that's pretty depressingly appropriate, isn't it?
Now, there, I agree with you.
Okay, so after Anakin's done grieving a character we hadn't even seen in the movie up to a few minutes ago, Obi-Wan calls and asks Anakin to retransmit a message to Coruscant. But Kenobi gets captured mid-transmission, so Anakin and Padme quickly set off to rescue him. Meanwhile, back on Coruscant, it turns out Palpatine can't approve the clone army unless the Senator proposes he be given emergency powers. And out of literally thousands of senators, guess who's the one to do it?
Misa propose that the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
Wow. Okay, ignoring the fact that this somehow got a round of applause, please go back to earlier so I can address the more major fuck up here.
I haven't worked for a year to defeat the Military Creation Act, to not be here when its fate is decided.
Padme is opposed to the creation of a military, and yet the senator she chose to represent her just set forth in motion the creation of a military.
Oops.
Okay, so major fuck up on Padme's part, but she does have a bigger concern at the moment as her and Anakin are making their way through the Geonosian factories. Padme finds herself, in the middle of a video game. Ooh, nasty. Well, guess she said she wants a role in a new Parappa the Rapper video game. But things are looking up for Anakin at least, as he's all set to become a new star on Vine.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So yeah, the two royally fuck up as they're quickly caught, and couldn't they have just killed them?
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid to die. I've been dying a little bit each day since you came back into my life.
Well, there goes my kidney.
I thought that we had decided not to fall in love. That we would be forced to live a lie. And that it would destroy our lives.
I think our lives are about to be destroyed anyway.
Yeah, nothing more romantic than the threat of death.
I truly, deeply love you.
Yeah, this movie's killed me. So if you're strong enough to survive that, we learn that Anakin, Padme and Obi-Wan have been sentenced to death, and each have their own respective monster to deal with. Padme's got a cat, Obi-Wan's got one of the arachnids from Starship Troopers, and Anakin's got a bull-like creature called a reek. Well, that'd be quite the fitting name if that thing's neutered. I'm sorry, man, I don't know why I keep picking on you.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
You've got a bad feeling about 3 freakishly large, man-eating monsters are approaching you when you're all chained up with no way out, and you have a bad feeling about that. No. Anakin, you're being a pessimist. And a pessimist he is, as the 3 managed to escape. Well, okay, maybe the bad feeling he had concerned something else. Oh, god damn it, I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, it gets oh, thank god he stopped. And the look continues as one bad motherfucker shows up to shut this party down. What results is one of the coolest moments in any Star Wars film ever. Seriously, this scene almost makes up for the rest of the movie. When I was a kid seeing this in the cinema, I almost shit my pants in excitement. We had never seen this many Jedi on screen at the same time before, so to finally see it was pure cinematic bliss. About the only thing I don't like about this scene is how Django goes out like a pussy, but apart from that, it's cracking. You know what's awesome as this scene is, I have to ask, what the fuck was Windu thinking? Let's talk numbers here. Windu sends this strike force of Jedi to save Obi-Wan. Remember, not to save Anakin and Padme, as Windu will believe they're still on Tatooine. And how many Jedi does Windu bring along? 212. And how many Jedi survived the battle? 30. Yes, Windu got 182 Jedi killed, just so he could save 1.
They must think the sun shines out of your ass, sonny.
So the droids have our heroes cornered as Dooku orders a final attack.
Well, we're boned.
But lo and behold, the group is saved as Yoda turns up just in time with the clones. How he managed to gather all these clones in such a short time is beyond me, but fuck it. The Jedi escape as we cut back to Jango's son Boba, who sadly has lost a father. Oh, unpleasant end to bringing your kid to work day.
I'm beginning to agree with you.
But back to our heroes as they've spotted Dooku on a speeder, but the absence of seatbelts in these gunships proves problematic.
Put the ship down!
No, Anakin, don't, there's sand down there.
Follow that speeder! Lower the ship!
I can't take Dooku alone! I need you! If we catch him, we can end this war right now! We have a job to do!
I don't care! Put the ship down!
You will be...
Okay, how long is it gonna be before these twats are gonna hit him? They're right in fucking front of you! Just look at them having a conversation completely oblivious to the gunfire. These guys don't even need to try to stay alive, do they? Oh yeah, I mean, this is a prequel. I mean, I won't die till episode 4. I mean, what's happened to me so far in this movie? I've jumped out of a 1,000-story window, taken a missile to the face, and I've seen these two together. I can live anything. Hey, Death. Here's you in this movie.
I'm not following you.
I'm saying you're shit at your job.
Huh?
Man, I haven't seen him this lethargic since Rhodey got shot in Civil War. Okay, so Obi-Wan convinces Anakin to do his duty as the two Jedi make it to the hangar for a fight with Dooku. Anakin begins by, well, being Anakin.
You're going slowly on the left.
Taking it now. No, Anakin, no! No!
Yeah, the best part of the movie was that. So Obi-Wan has no choice but to face Dooku alone. And, well, let's just say that Qui-Gon wouldn't be too pleased with his Padawan's performance.
I foresee he will become a great Jedi Knight.
So Dooku moves in for the kill, but Anakin saves his master by embracing his inner Italian plumber.
Brave of you, boy. But I would have thought you had learned your lesson.
I am a slow learner.
Whoa. We've just had a major continuity fuck up. Go back a bit. Okay, so see where Obi-Wan is right here, just below Anakin's and Dooku's sabers. Right, now keep watching. And, hello.
He's gone. He's been taken up. Oh, he's been taken up! No, there he is.
So it's Anakin's turn to kick some ass, and hey, we get to see some awesome akimbo action. I mean, we've never seen this before in a duel. Oh.
Disappointed!
Yeah, this whole fight is a massive disappointment. It's easily the worst duel of the series. I mean, look at the Darth Maul fight again. That's how you do a lightsaber fight. Fast, exciting, dramatic, a kick-ass score from John Williams, and topped off with some phenomenal stunt work from the one and only Ray Park. Fucking A! But here, what do we get? Shitty ass close-ups. Look, I'm fighting Dooku too. What the hell? Did you see that? Anakin just froze in place for like a full second there. Watch again. What, did Dooku have someone behind the scenes helping him out in this fight?
Finish him! Fatality.
But it's not over for Dooku, for there is a new challenger. And his name is Jar No, that'd actually be kind of cool. No, instead we get Yoda. Now, usually I'd be excited about Yoda showing up, but instead, we get this. Yeah, you ever have one of those moments where all your life you wanted to see something, and then when you actually got to see it, you realized how shit your wish was? Yeah, that's Yoda with a lightsaber. I mean, we all wanted to see this, but in my opinion, it's just too cartoony to enjoy. I mean, all I see here is an old man waving his stick at the ground. You'll make this look good in post, right? Oh yeah, I like my bitches. Cracking. Yoda just wasn't meant to fight with a saber. He should have solely been a Force user, and this fight here should have been between Dooku and Windu. Cause if Yoda can do all these flips and seemingly have the stamina of Mo Farah, why does he carry the cane everywhere he goes? Hell, he uses what is essentially a flying Segway earlier in the film. How lazy is that, considering he can do this? Okay, so the duel ends in a stalemate as Dooku's all like, fuck this shit, I'm out, as he distracts Yoda with a pillar about to fall on Anakin and Obi-Wan. Oh, come on guys, you seriously can't get out of the way? Look, I know you're wounded, but you don't need an arm to get up.
Oh shit, don't worry guys. Guys, get out of the fucking way, this bitch is heavy. Guys, you know what, fuck it. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
So Dooku escapes, and yeah, see, look at them getting up on their own now. Wankers. But yeah, back with Dooku, he arrives on Coruscant as we see he's been in cahoots with Sidious all along.
You have done well.
I have good news for you, my lord.
Your Rimworth cosplay won first prize at Comic-Con.
Excellent.
Not excellent. That's the other creepy old dude saying.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, that's clearly not who I meant.
Well, duh.
Anywho, Palpatine, your catchphrase is a step down from excellent.
Good.
Good. Hey, Palpatine, how's your ice cream sundae? Good. Well, good. So yeah, the film is quick to wrap up, so I will too. Yoda says the Clone War has begun, which is weird. I mean, does he have the authority to name wars? I'm thinking about it too much. A bunch of actors look over a shitload of blue screen and, oh hey, an actual set. Now, if only the actors were as believable. And for this private wedding, we're doing the short version.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Good, you're married. Kiss her.
So that was Attack of the Clones. Seems prudent it's episode 2, because this movie is shit. I mean, okay, I won't go as far as to say that I hate this movie. I mean, it's bad, but it does legitimately have redeeming qualities. I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. You can't go wrong with Christopher Lee. There's some pretty sweet action sequences with phenomenal sound design. The cinematography is pretty nice with many shots using the rule of thirds quite effectively. And there are a couple funny moments.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
But this is one film where the bad outweighs the good, because so much time is spent on this horrendous romance between Anakin and Padme. Lucas was way out of his depth here. The guy desperately needed someone else to write his dialogue for him, cause romance is way out of his comfort zone. John Williams, God bless him, tries his best to make the romance work with a legitimately memorable and heartfelt theme for the two, but this dialogue, it's so bad.
You are in my very soul, tormenting me.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You're right.
Now I have noticed that with the jump from episode 1 to episode 2, is that there is more an attempt at character banter, mostly between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And this is appreciated, but it's shaky. Now sometimes there can be a funny line.
I was beginning to wonder if you'd got my message.
I retransmitted it just as you had requested, Master. Then we decided to come and rescue you.
Good job.
But you'll notice that there is little rapport between these two, as they seem to do nothing but argue and moan about each other. Episode 2 should have demonstrated how much these two were good friends. It'd have helped make Anakin's fall to the dark side all the more tragic once episode 3 came around. And this lack of bond between Anakin and Obi-Wan is pretty much apparent for every character in the movie. I just get the impression that no one cares about each other here. In the Phantom Menace at least, there were said connections. You got a sense that Anakin and Padme liked each other. Just quick little moments like this.
With the communications breakdown, we've been very concerned. I'm anxious to hear your report on the situation.
It all helped give the impression that these two one day would become more than friends. But once episode 2 comes around, you'd swear that not only are they not lovers...
My goodness, you've grown.
So have you. Grown more beautiful, I mean.
Not only are they not friends...
Please don't look at me like that.
But they honestly seem to hate each other.
Excuse me. I'm in charge of security here, milady.
So them falling in love feels incredibly unearned. There is literally one moment in the entire film where there's any semblance of chemistry. And it's here.
You're making fun of me.
No, I'd be much too frightened to tease a senator.
That's a legitimately nice moment between the two. If only there was more of it. There was also a better main character relationship in episode 1. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan felt closer than Obi-Wan and Anakin ever did. They argued a little, yeah, but there's a heartfelt scene between the two where Obi-Wan apologizes, Qui-Gon forgives him, and you sense a strong relationship between the two. And it serves as a nice precursor to Qui-Gon's death, and you honestly feel for Obi-Wan.
It's too late. No. Obi-Wan. Promise me you will train the boy.
Yes, Master.
Honestly, Qui-Gon dying is a sad, powerful moment in my opinion. A hell of a lot more tragic than anything episode 2 has to offer, or even 3 for that matter. Now for me, the reason I don't really like episode 2 is mostly thanks to the god-awful romance that eats up so much screen time. But the moment Anakin and Padme are wheeled out into the Geonosis arena, then the film actually gets good. Cause everything that takes place in this one scene is what I wish the rest of the film was like. Obi-Wan, Anakin and Padme first face off against these creatures, all without weapons, which makes it more interesting to watch. All the Jedi show up and I'm just in awe at the sight of it. There's some legitimately funny gags with 3PO, Christopher Lee and Samuel L. Jackson get time to shine. Love this scene. It's all shot on crappy blue screen, but it's still a kick-ass time. But then the clone troopers show up, they go fight a faceless war, and then all of a sudden, I'm out of shits to give. So all in all, episode 2 is bad, but it is sprinkled with a bit of good here and there. It's easily the worst of the theatrically released Star Wars films, but hey, at least it gave us this. And this, which led to this. Yeah, I'm glad this film exists. But 3 years later, a film came along that was a definite improvement. A film that, if only it had its kinks ironed out, could have been regarded as good as the original trilogy. But unfortunately,
I have seen a security hologram of him killing younglings.
the kinks remain. I'll see you next time. Hey, what's going on guys, and thank you so much for watching, and I want to take this opportunity to give a massive thank you and shout out to Michael of Blatant Media for agreeing to appear in the intro of this review. You guys might know him for his What If Star Wars Episode 1 was good video, but I want to give a shout out to a recent animated pilot he and his brother did called Obituary, which is so good. It's kind of Gravity Falls-esque, like something you'd see on Disney XD, so definitely go check it out. If you haven't already, give it all the love you can. Thanks again guys for watching, and I shall see you in the next review. Peace out.
I'm in agony.
It's not fair.
Excuse me. It's all Obi-Wan's fault.
Prequels are bled us white Lucasfilm, the bastards. They took all hope Star Wars fans had, and not just from us, but from our fathers, and from our fathers' fathers, and from our fathers' fathers' fathers. Yeah, and from our fathers' 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 fathers. And from alright Bob, Star Wars isn't that old. And what have the prequels ever given us in return?
Ewan McGregor?
What?
Ewan McGregor?
Oh, yeah, he was pretty good as Obi-Wan. True, yeah.
On the lightsaber duels?
Oh, yeah, the duel suspect. Remember what the choreography used to be like? Yeah, alright, I grant you that the lightsaber duels and Ewan McGregor are two things that the prequels have done.
And John Williams' score?
Well, obviously John Williams' score. I mean, he goes without saying, doesn't he? But apart from Ewan McGregor, John Williams, and the lightsaber duels...
The podrace scene? Order 66? Christopher Lee?
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
Natalie Portman's midriff?
Yeah, I missed that. I mean, there's really shit to show first in the new movies.
The Opera House scene?
And who could forget Mars from The Matrix? By the way, you want to watch some death sticks? No, I do not. You all make good points. But apart from Ewan McGregor, John Williams, the lightsaber duels, Christopher Lee, Death Sticks, Order 66, the Opera House scene, and Natalie Portman's killer abs, what have the prequels ever done for us?
They passed the Bechdel test.
Oh, shut up!
So yeah, the prequels have had their ups and downs, haven't they? For me, they really ride that fine line between good and bad. Episode 1 I think stays just below that line, but I still enjoy it. And episode 2 falls lower. I said lower. There you go, head down to where that twat commented first. But where does episode 3 land on that line? Is it really the best of the prequels like many say? Or does the stupid keep it from attaining greatness? Well, let's find out. This is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So after our opening title crawl, which honestly sounds like it was written by a certain orange individual.
Very fine people on both sides.
I know Sith. I know many Sith lords. Tremendous people, believe me.
Anywho, it turns out there's a big battle over Coruscant as Obi-Wan and Anakin are on a mission to rescue a kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine. And hey, nice to see the best star pilot in the galaxy finally showing off what he can do.
We got him, R2.
We got him, R2. Oh, come on, there was a zinger right there, practically gift wrapped for you.
The missiles fire, Anakin rotates his ship so the two collide.
Told you spinning was a good trick. A little self-referential humor never hurt anyone, guys.
Huh. But Obi-Wan's ship gets swarmed with buzz droids as Anakin and R2 lend a helping hand.
R2, hit the buzz droid, center eye.
Do it, R2. The strategy guy told me so.
So they beat the buzz droids as the two crash land in Grievous's hangar bay.
But this is where the, Lucasism show their ugly head.
Cause in episode 3, there definitely seems to be more of a focus on comedic banter. But there's one vital ingredient missing here.
They forgot to make it funny.
I sense Count Dooku.
I sense a trap.
Next move?
Spring the trap.
You see what I mean? It's presented as though they're telling a joke. They just forgot the joke. I mean, you can't just leave awkward pauses after random bits of dialogue and expect your audience to laugh.
So Anakin and Obi-Wan make their way through the ship and reach the conspicuously unguarded Chancellor, but it's not long before old Dooku shows up.
Get help, you're no match for him. He's a Sith Lord.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are our speciality.
Checks out.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
What?
So we have ourselves a three-way, lightsaber duel with 3 combatants, and
this fight ain't the best.
I mean, it's better than their last duel, but 2 things really let it down. First off, there's Dooku's distracting as hell CG face recreation to cover Christopher Lee's stunt double.
I mean, look at this. He looks like that plastic Tim Allen thing from Santa Claus 2.
Looks pretty bad.
And the second problem is the choreography.
Now, some moves are actually decent, but others are just plain horrendous. Anakin, what the hell was that? Wow, that one move right there has got to be the worst ever moment in any Star Wars duel ever.
I mean, geez, where do I start? His swing was about 3 feet too high, he completely exposes his right side to attack, and he swung so hard he made himself go off balance.
What form of lightsaber combat is this? Form 0?
Terrible.
Well, miraculously, Anakin manages to overcome Dooku, as he has the count on his knees. Palpatine asks Anakin to kill him, but he's not sure.
I shouldn't.
Do it.
Wow, that took some convincing.
Anakin's had years of Jedi training, teaching him courtesy and the value of human life.
And all it apparently takes for him to abandon those morals is some creepy old dude on the side telling him to do it.
What can I say? The words "do it" seem to be incredibly motivational these days.
It's no wonder this guy's a politician.
What do you plan to do about crime in our city?
Do it.
I agree with that.
Oh, and is this really the send-off you're giving a Count Dooku? Because Christopher Lee deserves better than being at the mercy of Hayden Bloody Christensen.
You know, apparently it was going to be even worse.
In the original script, Lucas wrote that Dooku begs for his life. It was only when Christopher Lee told Lucas that wasn't in line with Dooku's character, the script was changed to this slightly less insulting scene.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm editing my own ending to this scene.
Kill him now.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Much better.
I agree.
So Anakin, Obi-Wan and Palpatine get moving, but are quickly caught by the aforementioned General Grievous. And boy do I have a bone to pick with this guy.
That's our introduction to the villain this evening, ladies and gents. A hunched over robotic hockey mask wearing dude with a serious case of lung cancer.
I mean, I don't hate Grievous, but I am so annoyed by the character's potential. Because episode 3 isn't the first time you see Grievous. In fact, he made his on-screen debut in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh, that being Clone Wars, not The Clone Wars. Seriously, can filmmakers stop using the word "the" to differentiate sequels?
Now, there, I agree with you.
Anywho, he shows up at the end of chapter 20, when a Jedi Knight who looks suspiciously like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo loses his cool.
Seriously, doesn't this guy look like Shaggy? What's this guy's name anyway? And, okay, that is genius.
Very impressive.
So yeah, Shaggy runs out in a panic, and right here is the first time you see the General.
Well,
and after that, he starts wrecking some shit. He takes on several Jedi, kills all but one of them, Master Cocknoggin takes his lightsaber, Grievous is staring him down all silent and badass, Mundi starts sweating, they collide with their sabers and it cuts away to a cliffhanger. What an intro! But then Windu crushes his chest in chapter 25, which results in him sounding like he's smoking 60 a day, and the character just loses all credibility.
Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs. Don't smoke.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
Not this time. And this time you won't escape.
2 hours later.
General Grievous has escaped once again.
Oh dear.
So yeah, Grievous makes it out in an escape pod, as it's up to Anakin to land what's left of the ship.
Open all hatches, extend all flaps and drag fins.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah, I think in the situation where there's a big gaping hole in the back of your ship, you're either going to run out of oxygen or burn up an atmosphere re-entry. Either way, you're going to die.
We're doomed.
Grab that, keep us level.
There he is.
He's all over the place. 900 feet up to 1,300 feet. What an asshole.
Landing strip, straight ahead.
More left rudder. Put down more flap.
Just kidding.
Laser down! Down! He's coming right at us!
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Another happy landing.
Jeez, this whole opening sequence could have been filled with a stock laughing track. Might as well edit them their own intro sequence whilst I'm at it.
So the mission is a success as Palpatine and Windu agree to make the capture of Grievous a priority in ending the war. Meanwhile, Anakin and Padme reunite, as Padme's got some news.
Are you alright? You're trembling. What's going on?
They're planning on making a Christmas special out of the prequels. Ah!
Something wonderful has happened.
Jar Jar tapped himself.
Annie, I'm pregnant.
You know, is it weird of me?
For that, my first thought when watching this scene is if they have contraception in the Star Wars universe. I mean, sex is something that's never really explored in Star Wars, but there's just so many underlying sexual undertones in this series, it's weird how this isn't the case. I mean, you got Jedi Master Bellend over here, you got what are clearly sex bots in the background, the main villain of the series is clearly wearing a gimp suit, there's phallic symbols everywhere, and the dialogue. I mean, am I the only one who's convinced that Star Wars writers deliberately try to throw in as many sexual innuendos as possible? I mean, listen to these filthy buggers.
Look at the size of that thing. I came as fast as I could.
One swift stroke.
I'm never touching that thing again.
Back door, huh? Good idea.
You came in that thing? You're braver than I thought.
I can't. It's too big.
My big purple friend.
Okay, please stop now. The last thing I want to do is think about Hondo's big purple friend.
Judge me by my size, do you?
I said stop.
Gonna be a tight fit.
Enough with the clips.
Will you be able to pull out in time?
Will you please stop?
It's possible he came in through the south entrance.
Okay, enough. I get it. We get it. Star Wars is a filthy-ass series filled with filthy-ass metaphors. Every film in the franchise should be rated an 18, and all the writers should be publicly shamed for their crimes against humanity.
No! Fuck off!
Thank you, Brian. So Anakin and Padme are thrilled with the news, and after the obligatory lovey-dovey puke-a-thon...
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
Oh, I can't bear to watch.
Anakin has another premonition, this time of Padme dying in childbirth. Understandably shaken, he goes to sit down and... Okay, is that safe? Like an open balcony with flying cars whizzing by? But if there's an accident? Oh, mid-air collision and that speed is heading right for our living room. Things you do for a view. So after telling Padme, Anakin vows not to let her die. So now that Padme is gonna die, Anakin meets up with Palpatine, who appoints him to be his personal representative on the Jedi Council. The Council, however, aren't pleased with the decision, so they soften the blow as much as they can.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
What? Did he just... Need to remind you what happened to the last guy who said what to Samuel L. Jackson?
What?
You Jedi are far too reckless.
So yeah, Anakin's back to his whiny self. Seriously, he's the youngest ever Jedi to be granted a seat on the Council. What more does he want? Yeah, okay, he wants to be a master, but that'll come in time. How about a little,
I say patience.
Ah, there you go. Follow your own bloody advice and you'll be fine.
Impossible, man.
But because Anakin has a raging man boner for the Chancellor, he doesn't take his next assignment particularly well.
They want me to spy on the Chancellor. Why didn't the Council give me this assignment when we were in session?
This assignment is not to be on record.
Yeah, quick question, guys. If this assignment is so secretive and off the record, why pray tell are you talking about it in a public hallway? I mean, shouldn't you be in like a private chamber or something? After all, we find out later that there's security cameras seemingly everywhere. Don't you think someone with as much power as the frickin' Chancellor would have access to those? Hell, the dude's probably watching you right now. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid. Maybe Palpatine won't catch on that Anakin was asked to spy on him.
They asked you to spy on me, didn't they?
Oops!
It can't be.
So yeah, Palpatine goes on to tell a story of a Sith legend called Darth Plagueis the Wise. And this is a cool scene. I mean, Ian McDiarmid just shines here. No. In fact, this is up there as amongst the best scenes in all the prequels. But there is something about Palpatine's story that's always puzzled me.
He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
Yeah, but that's not really going to be of much use to a Sith, is it? I mean, Anakin literally just said this about them.
They think inwards, only about themselves.
Oh, and then Palpatine goes on to say...
He could save others from death, but not himself.
So to clarify, the Sith power to stop people from dying can't be used on yourself and is pointless to use on others because the Sith don't care about others.
It's a little redundant, isn't it?
What? Shut up!
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Now moving objects with your mind and tricking weak-minded people to do your bidding, now that's completely natural.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
Ugh, how the hell has Anakin not caught on yet?
This dude just told you about this Sith legend you've never heard of before. He just revealed to you about a power exclusive to the Sith.
And to top it off, that freaking head turn, man. I mean, forget everything else. No man that turns his head like that could possibly be up to any good.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Well, I wouldn't know.
It's making me feel uneasy.
So the war efforts continue as it turns out Grievous is hiding out on the Utapau system. So, considering that the capture of Grievous will put an end to the war, how many Jedi should they send? 20, 30 Jedi maybe?
Master Kenobi should go. I agree.
Wait, you're sending one?
Very well, Council Adjourned.
What are you doing?
Grievous can hold his own against several Jedi at once. I mean, Obi-Wan is good, but he's not that good.
In fact, I dare say Obi-Wan is a horrendous strategist in combat. Case in point.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Look, Obi-Wan, I realise you may have got an IMDb, spotted your name in the credits of the next movie and taken that as an excuse to act totally recklessly, but good God, man, I don't think even Martin Riggs was this suicidal. In other movie universes, I can tell you once and for all that this would not fly.
Marvin! Marvin! I'd knock that shit off if I was you.
Hello there.
Yeah, you won't last a day.
You are reckless.
What?
So it's Obi-Wan versus Grievous as the two fight. Inglorious extreme close-up.
Oh, my favourite.
But Obi-Wan's hamster impression spooks Grievous as he makes his escape. Obi-Wan is quick to follow as he hitches a ride on his four-legged...
thing.
Play it.
Try not to lose it. This weapon is your life.
All in favour of labelling Obi-Wan as a hypocrite, say aye.
Aye.
I agree.
So the two take the fight down to a landing platform as Obi-Wan acts stupid.
Is he seriously trying to go fisticuffs with a giant cyborg made of metal? Just force push him again, you moron. I mean, he worked pretty well the first time. Just checking it was still in there.
I'm sorry for my behavior, Master.
But Obi-Wan comes out victorious regardless thanks to a good old-fashioned blaster, though he then proceeds to say something that makes no sense.
So uncivilized.
Now, lightsabers, on the other hand... very civilized.
But back on Coruscant, Palpatine's growing a little tired of Anakin's inability to take a hint, so he's decided to drop the Dark Lord bomb.
If one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi. If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force.
For example, Elon Musk and Al Gore are dark side supporters. As it turns out, Sith lightning is a surprisingly viable green energy source.
Be careful of the Jedi, Anakin. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
And only through me can you master the dramatic rotating panning shot. Ooh.
Use my knowledge, I beg you.
Hey, do you think Anakin's caught on to the fact that the guy who talks like a Sith Lord, acts like a Sith Lord, and also looks like a Sith Lord might actually be a Sith Lord?
You're the Sith Lord.
Audience?
You don't say!
That's all done, guys.
Are you going to kill me?
I would certainly like to.
I know you.
You filthy boy.
I can feel your anger.
It gives me an erection.
It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
Oh, sorry, Anakin, I was elsewhere. You wouldn't happen to have a Kleenex on you, perchance, would you?
I'm going to turn you over to the Jedi Council.
So Anakin takes this newfounded knowledge, and to his credit, he immediately goes to tell Windu the news. Mace is fast to react as he quickly strolls down the hangar bay.
You'll need my help if you're going to arrest.
Still going.
Stay out of this affair.
Time is of the essence.
We're wasting our time.
So yeah, about 5 hours later, he gets in a ship to confront the Dark Lord, and he takes
3 Jedi with him. You're about to arrest the fucking Dark Lord of the Sith, and you take so little backup with you I can literally count them all on one hand? Fucking Yoda could have counted them all on one hand.
What is this?
What is it with this council and their inability to send the right number of Jedi for a given task?
an entire planet under siege from the clutches of a deadly Federation. 2 Jedi, a mission to capture the leader of the droid army which could lead to the end of the war. 1 Jedi, a mission to save the life of a single captured Jedi.
212!
Now the Jedi are all but extinct.
Yeah, and now we know why. They're idiots!
This is madness.
So Palpatine takes advantage of the Council's stupidity and promptly goes to town.
Wow, guys, I think literal sloths have faster reaction times than you. Oh, if only I did anything.
Luckily, Windu seems to fare better, thanks to top billing, as he overcomes Sidious and his fantastic facial expressions.
Now, what to use for the thumbnail?
That one's good. Oh, that's a keeper. Oh, no, stop the presses, we found a winner, guys. But Anakin wants in on the fun, but chooses to come in at the most inopportune moment.
Anakin, I told you it would come to this. I was right. The Jedi are taking over.
Oh, and Anakin, do me a solid and just ignore the 3 dead Jedi you passed on your way in. I've no idea how they got there. The Jedi are the traitors.
You have lost.
No. Good God, he sounds like a babbling toddler who's refusing to eat his food. Come on, Palpy, eat your din-dins.
No. Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
So Sidious shocks Windu, but starts to play the victim in order to turn Anakin.
Anakin! Help me!
Palpatine, did you learn nothing? If you want Anakin to do something, change your wording. No. No. No.
Do it.
So out of the window, Windu goes as Anakin thinks about how much of an idiot he is.
What have I done?
You know, I don't think that line was in the script.
I think that was just Hayden Christensen on set realizing how he's fucked up his own acting career prospects, and George decided just to keep it in the movie.
What have I done?
The Force is strong with you.
Oh my God. Seriously, Ian McDiarmid is having way too much fun in this role.
Try this. Just pause any of his scenes at any moment, and he honestly looks like he's midway through an orgasm.
Don't believe me? And here he is on the Nymphomaniac poster. I dare you to tell me he looks out of place.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
So, Anakin's a bad guy now, as he takes a bunch of soldiers and goes to murder a bunch of kids.
You guys might be thinking I skipped a lot of the movie there, but I didn't.
I mean, this has to be the most sudden shift of character in movie history. Literally just earlier this night, Anakin was against killing someone because it was against the Jedi Code, and now he's committing mass genocide of children? I mean, I know Anakin has showed some dark side tendencies in the past, but this is something else.
Look, what's one of Vader's most famous lines?
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Yeah, what episode 3 should have done is to show us that power he was talking about.
That is the reason why Anakin should turn, not because he wants to save his girlfriend. Think Kazuya Mishima with the Devil Gene, Bakura with the Millennium Ring, Peter Parker with the Black Symbiote suit. These things warp your mind and seduce you with their great power.
That is what the dark side should have been in this movie.
But Anakin never appears to relish in this power. He's just doing all this evil shit because he thinks it'll save Padme. And if you're willing to kill children based upon some baseless opportunity to save a loved one,
that doesn't make you evil. It makes you clinically insane. I'd advise a lobotomy, but you're already so freaking stupid I don't think that'll make much difference.
Come to your senses!
But at least we get the kick-ass Order 66 bit to go with this. I mean, for a scene where characters we barely know are killed, it's surprisingly dramatic. John Williams again on form. Anakin's betrayal is a fantastic piece. Haunting, beautiful, and sad all at the same time. In fact, if it worked for Williams, this sequence might not have worked.
Change the song and this scene loses all intended effects.
A burn victim who can't fly for shit. The director killing off his own kid. Guys, I think she might be dead. Firing squad shooting a man with a dick for a head.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Moving on.
We also get Anakin going on a separatist killing spree.
Gotta admit, this is pretty satisfying.
I don't want no trouble. You just take what you want and read.
Ooh, bliss. Meanwhile, though, back with Obi-Wan, he's just met up with Yoda, as they've discovered a distress call coming from the Jedi Temple as a trap to lure unsuspecting Jedi. So Obi-Wan and Yoda break in to dismantle it. Here, Obi-Wan finds out Anakin's had a hell of a day.
It can't be. It can't be.
You have done well, my new apprentice. Now, Lord Vader, go and bring peace to the Empire.
I can't watch anymore.
Really? That's it? After 3 whole movies, that's Obi-Wan's reaction to finding out Anakin has betrayed him?
I mean, good God, how underwhelming was that? Obi-Wan should be fucking devastated. He should be down on his knees in tears with one of those really epic and tragic John Williams scores in the background.
He sounds less betrayed and more like he's in the middle of watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I can't watch anymore.
Look at Yoda's reaction during the Order 66 scene. Look how devastated he looks. Listen to that tragic score. That's how you do it. I mean, Ewan McGregor could have certainly pulled this off.
If you had let him.
So Obi-Wan and Yoda decide to split up to take out Anakin and the Emperor. True, it would make 1,000,000 times more sense for them to stay together and take out each opponent one at a time. But remember, these guys are morons.
I don't know where to look.
Use your feelings, Obi-Wan, and find him you will.
So, in order to find Anakin, Obi-Wan reaches out to the Force as he pins down his apprentice's location. Or he could just ask the person who saw him last. Good idea in hindsight.
He is in grave danger.
From the Sith?
From himself. Padme. Anakin has turned to the dark side.
George, you can't just say that. That is such a big piece of information to just reveal in a line of dialogue, and it just sounds stupid.
Look, you guys have seen my video on what Star Wars did wrong. I mean, I don't look too fondly back at that video as a lot of what I said was bullshit, but I still stand by what I said about how stupidly black and white the dark side is. By having Obi-Wan say that Anakin's turned to the dark side, he's essentially just saying,
hey, Padme, Anakin's evil now. You see what I mean? You can't just say that.
Now, filmmaking 101 here, guys. What is often cited as the #1 rule of filmmaking is 3 simple words. Show, don't tell. I mean, George had the right idea with how Obi-Wan discovers Anakin's betrayal, because it's visual. This approach works in the visual medium of film. It still wasn't handled well, but at least the setup was correct.
But how does Padme find out about this tragic piece of information?
On a nice sunny day, in her living room, and one of her friends just tells her.
Exciting is hardly the word I would choose.
Look, if you have to go down the route of telling things in your movie, at least spruce up the atmosphere a bit.
Like mute the colour palette, set it at night with the burning Jedi temple in the background, add some rain, lightning and fog.
You know, Zack Snyder, that sucker.
Set appropriate scenes in appropriate locations. Luke found out Vader was his father after a tragic battle, after having lost an arm, with wind and a massive drop below him. He wasn't sat in his goddamn couch doing a fucking crossword puzzle.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, and yeah, Padme doesn't believe him, of course. If only he had some proof to show her. Okay, I'm done with that scene. Moving on.
Move along. Move along.
So Padme decides to head to Mustafar to check up on Anakin, whilst Obi-Wan hides as a stowaway. Meanwhile, at the Senate building, Yoda does the coolest thing in any Star Wars movie ever.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. That was gangster.
Oh shit! Yoda on the scene, 900-year feast, smoking, taking bomb green.
So as Yoda takes on Sidious, Anakin and Padme reunite on Mustafar as Padme attempts to get through to him.
I don't know you anymore. Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Okay, I got to give mad props to Natalie Portman here.
I mean, this dialogue is awful, but by God is that woman trying to make it work.
For the lady is trying to paint a beautiful canvas. With shit.
Very dangerous.
You're going down a path I can't follow.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Hayden, Natalie's down here. You might want to try looking at your co-stars once in a while. There we go.
Now, that's better.
But Obi-Wan shows up doing his best Wonder Woman pose. Interesting approach, as Anakin attempts to kill the woman he was actively trying to save.
Ironic.
I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire?
Your new empire?
Holy shit. The movie's so bad, it's becoming self-aware.
Suspect the toilet's clogged again and...
Fuck me, this is some strong shit.
So, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. On Mustafar, it's Mark from Trainspotting versus a 2 Razzie Award winner. And on Coruscant, it's a little green puppet who talks backwards versus a wrinkly old man in a bathrobe.
Fuck yeah, fine.
And so you might be wondering what I think of these duels.
They're good. They have issues up the arse, but they're entertaining. Enough.
You see, there's several problems here. Firstly, we know all 4 of these guys are gonna survive, so watching them fight for minutes on end, it's a bit redundant as we know both battles will end in stalemates. I mean, the Yoda fight in particular has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. They fight, and that's it. What could have given this duel more significance is if, in all the prequels, Yoda doesn't need a cane. And in his fight with Sidious, he gets wounded, and that explains why he needs the cane in the original trilogy. This would explain Yoda's increased dexterity in the prequels, and would also explain why Yoda flees the fight, because here, well, he just sort of gives up. Secondly, the whole sequence goes on for about 12 minutes, and action scenes that long can be good if they had more substance, but as I said, these fights are kinda pointless. And thirdly, you might be thinking, well, the choreography is good, right? I mean, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen do a lot of their own sword play. Look at them go. This is sweet.
But you know what? I think the creators of this scene were actually trying too hard.
I mean, the episode 3 crew went into the Anakin Obi-Wan fight with the intention of making it the most epic lightsaber duel in Star Wars history.
But the choreography, in my opinion, is too fast and it lacks impact.
Let's take this scene in episode 1 for example and actually count the hits.
Bear with me here, trying to make a point.
Okay? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, you can count them easy enough. Now let's try to count the strikes in episode 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, fuck!
Coming in too fast!
You see the problem? There's so many strikes in this duel, they don't register.
The duel needed slower, more powerful attacks. Remember, these two combatants want each other dead, but the duel ends up feeling less like a fight at times and
more like a bloody rave party.
Look how episode 7 conveys power much better. When someone gets hit with a saber there, you feel it.
I don't care what universe you're from, that's gotta hurt.
Another great example of power is with Luke in episode 6. Look how pissed off he is here, and the force he's putting on Vader. In episode 3, they just seem to be tapping swords and it's just way too over-choreographed. I mean, episode 1 also had this issue, but the choreography there is more defined and the hits have a little bit more punch to them. And because of this approach to the duel, it leaves little room for Christensen and McGregor to demonstrate the ill feelings their characters are supposed to have for one another.
I mean, there's glimpses of this, like this bit here. Why can't we have more of that?
Anakin should be wailing on Obi-Wan, absolutely enraged. Remember, he's a Sith now, his fighting style should be different from before. But apart from the force choke from earlier, we don't see much in the way of dark side qualities in his fighting style.
Oh, and Anakin should really be using a red saber here.
In fact, once he turned, he should have started using a different blade immediately.
Why is that, you ask? Well,
your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough. What is it? Your father's lightsaber.
Yep, Obi-Wan knowingly gave Luke a weapon that was used to murder children.
And that same blade eventually passes down a Rey too. Why are you all okay with this?
Imagine if someone gifted you a gun that was used in a mass shooting. You'd be horrified.
But back to the duel, and don't get me wrong, I still enjoy this scene. The VFX work is terrific, the score is brilliant, and the choreography is still impressive. But if you ask me, this fight really could have been so much more.
Oh, and I haven't even gotten to this part yet.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Yeah, but Anakin has the higher ground. Okay, I'd be amazed if I was the first person to make that joke.
You underestimate my power!
You underestimate my ability to make my way up a hill. Not even a hill, a slope. You underestimate my power!
So yeah, Anakin could just jump down here and mosey on his way up to Obi-Wan, but he doesn't want to, and Obi-Wan's patience has run out.
Look, I'll have your leg. Right, I'll do you for that. You what? Come here. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Haven't you?
And here we are. The only time we can ever say the actor Hayden Christensen was on fire. So Obi-Wan chooses to leave Anakin to burn and die. Wow, that is kind of fucked up when you think about it. As Obi-Wan brings Padme to a health facility to give birth to Luke and Leia.
Obi-Wan. There's good in him.
There's good in him? Okay, what is it with the Skywalker family and their insistence that there's still good in Vader?
He literally murdered children and he goes on to help destroy an entire fucking planet. There is no good left in a man like that. Period. If you're not convinced, think about it in a real world context.
Oh, everyone's too hard on Hitler. I mean, sure, he was responsible for the death of millions of men, women, and children, but there's still good in him. Oh, God, there are actually people who do believe that. Jesus, world is fucked.
What kind of nonsense is this?
So, yeah, Padme dies.
Which I have mixed feelings on.
For one, I like the theory that Sidious uses the life force of Padme to keep Vader alive, and that by believing he himself caused his wife's death, that cements Anakin's turn to the dark side quite nicely. If you ask me, this whole back and forth sequence of Padme's death and Vader's birth is really well done.
But on the other hand, you got this little scene.
Do you remember your mother? Your real mother?
Just a little bit. She died when I was very young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the words very young in this instance were implying a time frame of 3 freaking minutes.
I feel lost.
So after that bullshit, we see Sidious sense Vader was in danger as he goes to save him. Yep, he spent literally decades prepping this kid to become his new apprentice, and he's fucked up already.
It's my first day!
But hey, at least we get to see him in the suit again.
You know, in all this dramatic build-up, I can't help but wonder, who's operating this motorized table anyway? I mean, is Sidious doing this?
Rise, Lord Vader! Rise, my apprentice! Oh, fucking hell! Oh, shit! Fuck it! Fucking hell! Fucking thing! No! Fuck it, I'll just turn Ezra Bridger to the dark side.
Oh, and you know the atrociousness of what follows when Vader realizes Padme is dead. My Game of Princess will be right back after these messages.
You know what I always found funny here, though? Wasn't necessarily the no, but what would come after. You see, it cuts away here just as he runs out of breath, but what if it didn't?
So, any hot Empire chicks working for you, or?
Oh yes, about that, do the 3rd degree burns on your sack. We had to cut off your balls.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the film. Leia goes to Alderaan, Obi-Wan and Yoda give up and killing the Emperor, despite the fact that there's not really anything to stop them from doing so, and Luke is taken to Tatooine in the hopes that Anakin will never again visit a planet covered in nothing but sand. The end.
So to ask the age-old question, is Revenge of the Sith the best of the prequels? Well, it's definitely the most entertaining, albeit for the wrong reasons at times, but still.
Because if you look purely at how much the prequels get wrong, I actually think the Phantom Menace got the least wrong. True, you had Jake Lloyd who wasn't the best kid actor, but because he was only 8, I can easily forgive that. You of course had Jar Jar, but he doesn't annoy me as much as he does most people. Now there were also issues with the characters and how stale most of them felt, but that's true of all 3 prequels, and Phantom Menace makes up for its shortcomings with the best score of the prequels, the least CGI of the prequels, and the best lightsaber duel of not just the prequels, but the whole frickin' series. Top that off with better character chemistry, spectacular vehicular segments, and some genuinely moving moments. Episode 1 really has a lot going for it. I personally think people are way too hard on it.
Episode 3, on the other hand, gets so much wrong, I don't even know where to start.
Anakin's fall to the dark side is unbelievably rushed and forced. The increased focus on comedy mostly falls flat and clashes so much with the film's overall intended tone. The lightsaber duels lack any kind of real impact. Dramatic moments are unintentionally hilarious, and the dialogue, I actually think, is worse than ever here. Then there's the pure artificiality of the movie. I don't think there's a single scene in episode 3 that doesn't make use of a blue screen. It is everywhere. There's no deserts or woods or lakes or any semblance of nature you'd find in episodes 1 and 2. It's just ships, boardrooms, hangar bays. I mean, you sometimes get the occasional interesting location, but again, it's all on a blue screen.
And what blows about this is how it masks the fact that there are still plenty of practical effects used here.
There's so much impressive work done on miniatures, there's great makeup effects, but all this blue screen just distracts from it. I'm sure it takes the VFX artists months and months of work to make these scenes a reality, but I'd have taken a real set any day. Have the Utapau scenes shot in a mountainous region. Have the Mustafar one shot in a volcano a la Mount Doom in Return of the King. I suppose back in 2005 this looked good, and to be fair to the VFX team, they really made this film look as good as possible given the direction and their available technology. But it's a sad reality that, unlike the original trilogy, the prequels will just age horrendously given Lucas's over-reliance on shooting in a studio when advanced CGI technology was still in its infancy.
Okay, but episode 3 is regarded as the best of the prequels, so what's done right here?
Well, I personally think Ian McDiarmid steals the show here. He is having so much fun in this role and he is a blast to watch. Now, the Emperor has always been an over-the-top character. I mean, there is no subtlety to his evilness. So McDiarmid was like, fuck it, and he just goes all out. And his performance becomes akin to what you'd expect from an actor playing the Joker. He's evil, and he loves being evil. I can only hope one day I enjoy something as much as this man does.
90% of the film's acting is also good, given the horrendous direction and script.
Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Frank Oz, the aforementioned Ian McDiarmid, they're all giving it 110%.
However, Hayden Christensen does suffer more.
Now, his performance can sometimes work. In fact, anytime when he's not victim to the script, I dare say he's utterly fantastic. His emotional range is stellar, and the torment that Anakin goes through is brilliantly portrayed by him.
But on the other hand, he sometimes sounds like he's half asleep.
What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy?
What about the other Jedi spread across the...
And other times he sounds too...
whimsical. Like he's auditioning for the role of a Disney prince or something.
And together you and I can rule the galaxy.
You and I can rule the galaxy. You see what I mean?
Now, again, I can't put all the blame on Christensen. After all, not even James Earl Jones could have pulled off the "Love Cat Save You, only my new powers can do" that line.
In fact, in hindsight, that might have made it even more hilarious.
But Christensen does notably struggle more than his co-stars. Now, when he's given a decent script to work with, Hayden's not a bad actor, but in order to make it through one of George Lucas's scripts, you better be Oscar level good. I think it's a real shame about Christensen. I think he has great charisma as an actor, and I truly hope he gets more chances to show us what he can truly do, because I think the guy has it in him.
So what else works in episode 3? Well, a lot.
Order 66 is a dramatic and tragic scene elevated once again by John Williams' orchestral mastery. The Opera House scene serves as a fantastic setting for the tale of Darth Plagueis. The lightsaber fights, whilst a bit too style over substance for me, are still entertaining to watch. The film feels surprisingly brisk for a 2-hour plus feature, and it was admittedly very cool to see the gap between episodes 3 and 4 finally filled. So yeah, all that together elevates episode 3 to the best out of a bad bunch, but I honestly don't think episode 1 is that far behind. Now, none of the prequels I can call good, but they do indeed have a lot of good in them, something I feel a lot of people fail to notice. And if nothing else, the prequels have served as a great lesson in what to do and what not to do in a Star Wars movie. And for that, I can say the very existence of this trilogy is, at the very least, deserved.
I've been the usual suspect, and I wonder... give this video a thumbs up and get me to 2,000 likes.
Do it.
And now I wait. See you next time.